The current landscape is changing with a huge focus on personalized experiences within the different digital channels. This change has sped up with the COVID pandemic. Online traffic and transactions have increased drastically in the past few months, and businesses are lagging to adapt to the new reality. As a result, it is required to have a strong focus on understanding the customer end-to-end journey for any business to succeed in the new landscape. This includes the ability to customize the experience for each customer across different platforms and devices. The entire customer journey must be digitized and automated. Content must be more discoverable to the customer. Understanding the customer's intent is crucial to determine the next best action. The experience must be relative and contextual to the customer. In order to do so, data collection becomes very important. Not just any data, but meaningful data. And to collect meaningful data, there are three major steps. One, the data capture. There are terabytes and terabytes of data being collected every single day about customer behavior. This data comes from three main sources. First-party data, which is data collected directly from the customer. This data is typically the most valuable and dependable. Second-party data, which is first-party data being transferred between two trusted brand partners. Finally, third-party data, which is typically based on third-party cookies, and this will be a point of discussion later on. Secondly, you go into data analysis. Because of the magnitude of data, proper innovative technologies have to be used and adapted in order to understand the customer's behaviors and motions. This is required to present value and personalized communication to the customer. Finally, drive action from insights. By analyzing the data, businesses are able to understand the different customer journeys and which journeys are more prominent. This would allow the businesses to reach out to the customer proactively through different channels, whether it's online, push notifications, messaging, etc. Businesses must move from a transactional relationship to a customer outcome-driven solution that's more relevant to their lives more than ever before. The shopper increasingly expect to do business with companies that are simply there for the customer when needed. Businesses can no longer expect the customer to come to them. They have to go where the customer is. The question truly becomes, how can a business make itself relevant in this very different world? At EY, we consider three routes of integration. We call them the three I's: invisibility, indispensability, and intimacy. Invisibility simply means I want my life to be easier. I care about getting what I need in the most convenient way. I'll even let AI buy things for me. This is the time saver route. This proposition is about becoming an essential part of the customer's life by making what you do almost invisible. The focus is on giving the customer what they want quickly, conveniently, and efficiently. Secondly, indispensability, which means I want my life improved. I value businesses that optimize things for me. My loyalty is based on their ability to join the dots on my behalf. It is the problem solver route. This proposition is about becoming an essential part of the customer's life by making what you do indispensable. The focus is on creating bundles of goods and services that meet the customer's need holistically. The best problem solvers are brilliant at delivering outcomes. They curate and combine goods and services from a broad ecosystem of partners. Finally, intimacy, which means I want my life to be fulfilling. I know which businesses I want to spend time with, those that give me the right experiences. My loyalty is about shared values and good experiences. This is the experience creator route. This proposition is about becoming an essential part of the customer's life by creating an experience rooted in intimacy. The focus is on providing enriching experiences that delight the customer to such an extent that shopping becomes a meaningful and satisfying leisure activity. For companies that are great experience creators, the product is secondary to the service and experience that surrounds it. Now keep in mind that the three I's are not mutually exclusive. The challenge is to shape a proposition that delivers value across more than one of them, and to deliver it in a way that the competitors cannot match. Few retailers today can embed themselves successfully into the life of every customer. The challenge is to understand what the customer really wants, to shape a value proposition that's right for that customer, and then deliver it in the right experience, assortment, and price, and of course at the right time. But in order to be able to deliver on any of these routes, there is one essential requirement: data. Data collection is changing quite drastically. For example, we have ad blocking tools. Ad blocking tools are now resulting in up to 30% of ads being blocked every day. GDPR and CCPA are enforcing consent. In 2010, there was 10% decline in consent opt-in. There are requirements of more detailed consent windows as requested by regulations. This is expected to increase the decline by 20% and more. Also, cookies are more difficult to use. We mentioned third-party cookies. Apple and Firefox are already limiting third-party cookie use and represent respectively 17 and 4% of total audience. And Google is not far behind. These stats alone show a drop of up to 60% in addressable audience with third-party cookies. But how does that affect us? Marketing and customer operations will have ineffective website and app tracking, poor marketing effectiveness, less audience targeting, which leads to clunky customer experience and less customer insights. Also, it will affect CRM contribution to business, gaining less members because of opt-outs as a result of new regulations, less retargeting possibilities, less ability for advertising on other channels, whether it's paid or owned, less personalization and less attribution. And finally, all this will cause damage to business performance because of less engagement, less return on investment, and no way to optimize budget. So far, we have talked about the major changes happening in the way data is being collected. Consumers are much more aware of what's being collected and their privacy across digital channels. These changes will cause the marketers to struggle with outdated legacy approaches to data management and identity resolution. And many organizations lack the infrastructure, resources, or even the know-how to resolve data gaps and inconsistencies. This can result in false data matches and scalability issues. But that's not all. Even when data is collected and analyzed, there are other pressing issues. For example, siloed data. When data is not aggregated properly, this results in an incomplete customer view or even different views of the same customer. Also, identity across channels. Businesses cannot resolve identity across different channels and do not understand the connection between online touchpoints. Finally, real-time access. This is my personal favorite. Existing data investments are not built for real-time access and decisions. It is not just about collecting and analyzing data, but also about being able to act on the data collected in real time. Companies have to act quickly, and there are major elements that they have to focus on. 1. Durable identifiers. Cookie restrictions require new approaches over the next 18 months to future-proof data management. This can be done using first-party cookies by encouraging customers to sign in, allowing the marketers to have more detailed data. Using a cookieless approach would allow for gathering real-time data to create targeted experiences using consistent identifiers like customer IDs and emails. Secondly, personalization. Customers expect relevant and consistent messaging across all marketing touchpoints. Segmenting and reaching customers across channels, including display and social, without the use of third-party cookies and device IDs is a must. This will be done through creating actionable and accessible profiles of the customers. These profiles would power real-life personalization by using multiple cookieless identifiers to maximize reach. Thirdly, privacy and governance. New regulations and policies make it more critical than ever before to market responsibly. The regulations introduce a new level of consent complexity. It is required to have a user-friendly control set to address this complexity on a regional and organizational levels. Finally, we need to make it easy for our businesses. Marketing and IT departments need to reduce complexity and latency in their technology stack. Using a single extensible platform with scalable infrastructure to streamline data management and activation is a must to allow for real-time segmenting and personalization. So let's talk about an actionable plan. 1. Focus on what you can control. Invest in a first-party data strategy to build a complete understanding of customers. By doing so, businesses will be able to proactively reach customers and provide them with the required personalization to keep them engaged. 2. Test and learn. This is a new territory for a lot of businesses. Experiment to find the most valuable data sets and the most effective customer experiences and journeys. 3. Invest in the right tools. Actionable customer data with durable identifiers, advanced governance control, and real-time profiles are key to success. Finding the right tool and implementation are essential to be able to gather, analyze, and act on data to meet the customer's need. 4. Evolve your audience center of excellence. Partnering with other teams within the organization managing customer data across marketing and IT is required for success. Collecting the data is the first step. This needs to be followed by a proper implementation to analyze and allow the marketing teams to act on the collected data. 5. Build strategic partnerships. Remember, there is no more third-party data. Businesses will need to establish data sharing relationships, explore identity partners, and work with trustworthy technology providers. Finally, be proactive with the market changes. Businesses must get ready now for the changes to come. Understanding where data is coming from and how that needs to be changed to maintain and collect new customer data is the only way to capitalize and improve on delivering the right content to the consumer. EY works with consumer product companies and retailers and understands the issues they're faced with. EY has alliances with companies like Adobe, which provide proper tools to resolve these issues, allowing businesses to gather and aggregate data from online and offline sources. This data aggregation allows marketers to see a unified view of their customers, to understand their behaviors and journeys across the different digital channels. At EY, we understand how to collect data and turn it into a unified 360 view, allowing marketers to see the full picture of the customers and also make proper decisions on how to reach them and present proper solutions using segments and targeted content.